Narinig pa ba ako? Di pa naman, di ba?
Welcome to another night filled with good vibes. Isa na namang chill na usapan ang hatid namin sa inyo ngayong gabi. May kipagkwentuhan ka na, may mapupulot ka pang mga aral. My name is Alren of Streamed Siomai, and welcome to the Pride edition of KaTalk. We are live sa ating Facebook page na Streamed Siomai. For those who have liked and followed our page, thank you so much. For those who haven't, you can still like us. You can either search us by the URL facebook.com/streamsiomai.live, or you can just hover your cursor sa photo or sa DP and click the like button. You can also press follow so that you'll get a notification, especially when we are about to go live. Please feel free to drop a comment or question to our guest, and we'll do our best para mabasa at masagot ang inyong mga katanungan. First of all, thank you so much sa mga nanood ng unboxing. Thank you nung unboxing video na ginawa ko nung Thursday. So, the world, please meet Ida-chan. Yes, I love him. He's my baby. Anyways, andyan siya. Manonood siya. Kagay niya ako. Char. Anyway, happy Pride Month sa lahat. So, yes, it's Pride Month, and KaTalk and Streamed Siomai Live is part of celebrating and supporting the advocacies and support kung ano yung pinaglalaban nating mga LGBTQ+ community. I'm really not a conversationalist, so let's get going. Let's continue. Pangmalakasan ng ating guest for tonight. She is a graduate of Mapua with a degree in Multimedia Arts and Sciences. She is currently creative director for Acad Arena and founder of Overdrive Studios. Isa lang naman sa mga sakalam na esports creative studio dito sa Southeast Asia. She has worked with several clients such as Red Bull Philippines Malaysia, Legion by Lenovo, TNC, at Cebol, the country's national team at the 30th Southeast Asian Games. A wrestling enthusiast, designer, and gamer by heart. Okay, nasa na tayo? Naligaw! Sabi sa inyo, pangmalakasan tong guest natin who happens to be a batchmate of mine. This is also my first time getting to know her, kaya I am very happy to introduce our KaTalk for tonight. Let us all welcome... nawala na naman. Nagkamali na naman po tayo. Things happen in life. So, eto na po. Let us all welcome our guest for tonight, RD Rogacion. At piling ko na...
Hello! Okay naman, hindi na ako nakamit, di ba?
No, not anymore. Okay na.
Alright, hi Alren, kamusta?
Ayun. Oh my gosh. Eto na po. Okay na.
Sorry, medyo wagong ligo kasi ako. Since literal kakauwi ko lang. Hinabol ko yung oras. So, ayun.
Okay lang yun. So, mukhang enjoy naman yung pagbabike natin. Buti hindi umulan.
Yun ngayon, kanina sobrang lamig na, tapos may mga lawa na. So, ayun, minadali ko talaga yung pagbike ko pa uwi. Kasi alam ko na yung call time natin. So, I'm really sorry na late tayo today.
No stress. Okay lang yan. Walang problema yun. So, yun, let's start our catch-up session po ang magaganap. And, I don't know, siguro for context na lang din sa viewers natin. Sa mga, yun nga, si RD isa sa mga nakasama ko sa Mapua, naging kaklase ko siya ng college. Isa siya sa mga ano ba yung term? Isa sa mga immortal na graduate on time. Oo, yun talaga yung pinaka... Well, hindi yun yung isa. Hindi yun yung pinaka core memory ko sa kanya. But, there's something else. Pag-uusapan natin yun later. So, yun. in all fairness talaga. Parang, sila yung isa siya sa mga tao na parang, ay, ang galing, nakagraduate on time. Pwede palang maging regular sa Mapua. Maliban sa best friend ko, na kilala din ni Ort.
Yun.
Yun. So, sige. So, total, pinag-uusapan na natin ang Mapuan journey, Mapuan days. Pag-uusapan na, let's elaborate and, magbalik tanaw tayo. Ayun. So, yan. So, wait lang. Ano bang ano ba yung block section mo sa Mapua?
Right. So, pang umaga ako. So, A61 ako. And a few of my classmates are, actually, onti lang din kami talaga nagtagal din sa block. So, ayun, hindi ko talaga sila nakabanding masyado. So, actually, mga nakabanding ko halos ng buong college life ko, hindi ko ka-block. So, that's something na, it's pretty weird, no? Kasi usually, di ba, parang pag magkaka-block kayo, usually magkakasama talaga kayo. Pero, my case, hindi. Kasi, nagkaiba-iba kami schedules, tapos, ayun, iba-iba rin kami ng interests. Partly kasi halos sa iba kong ka-blocks, yun yung mga nakakalaro ko palagi. So, kami-kami rin yung magkakasama nun. Mm-hmm. So, shoutout pala kila Virgin, kila Ariel. Yung mga kasama ko. So,
well, if there's one thing sa Mapua na na-experience ko din na parang you'll never know kung sino talaga magiging classmates mo kasi anything can happen. Alam mo yan.
Oo naman. Oo.
I mean, it's nice din. Parang breath of fresh air ba? Sharing, more on, at least parang, ibang subject, ibang set of people naman, ibang set of classmates naman yung makakasama mo. So at least may konting variety. Yun, variety.
Yeah, variety.
You get to work with different people from different walks of life. So anyway, yun. So, ano yung mga unforgettable moments maliban sa mga naging kaklase mo na naging kalaro mo din? Mga kasama mo sa paglalaro. Any certain memory na feeling mo, ito tinatanong ko rin to sa mga previous guests ko. Certain core memory na feeling mo karamihan ng mga nakasama mo, hindi na nila natatandaan. Siguro pero sa'yo, baka dahil nakakahiya or ikaw lang yung nakakita. So, any kind of experience na pwede mong i-share sa amin.
I think yung mga favorite memories ko was during that time na yung mga, I think third year na tayo, marami tayong mga lab na classes. So, tayo rin magkakasama nun. Along that lines na may sinasabay tayong mga thesis nun. So, I think yun yung mga pinaka-core memories ko. Kasi a lot of my college life was actually, hindi ko masyado naalala talaga. Kasi a lot of my college life was me having my ex-girlfriend nun. Dota, of course, kasi yun yung ginawa kong life nun. And then, parang umuwi lang talaga ako halos eh. Pero yun, pretty straightforward. Pero a lot of my happy memories were with laboratory classes, yung mga interactive designs, yung mga ganun yung electives, kasi animation major ako, diba? So, ayun, those are fun times. And then, other than that, yung mga core memories ko kasi second year naman siya, a lot of the photography shoots, of course. Kasi doon ko talaga nakilala sino mga gusto ko makasama in the future.
Mm-mm. Well, para naalala ko na, I really can't remember the number, pero I know the people na, yun nga, certain sila na video yung kukunin nilang elective, kagaya ko. And ikaw ay isa sa mga pumili ng animation elective. What made you choose that elective?
Feel ko kasi kaya ko nun eh. Yun talaga yung reason nun. At saka I think animation, kasi when it comes to like the specialization, diba, there were 3 things. Graphics, video, and animation. Video is very expensive, of course. Since, tsaka honestly, hindi rin ako super convinced sa mga maging prof nun. Tsaka hindi ako super galing sa video. So, talagang yun na rin yung reason ko. Tsaka mahal gamit eh. Graphics naman is something that you can learn along the way. So, animation was pretty much the choice na pinili ko din for me. Tapos, I guess like looking back, tama din naman yung choice ko. Kasi it helped me a lot with work.
Okay, if that's the case, I have a follow-up question. What was Although itong tanong na to, itatanong ko to later, pero with regards sa work na, I want to know the discipline or the practices that you have learned during your animation electives that you are pwedeng na-apply, you're currently applying, or maybe have applied before, basta after college.
Right. I think since ako ngayon, since a lot of my work now involves graphics heavy, yung style ng paggawa ko ng graphics, usually talaga may consideration for motion. So, diba, a lot of the principles of like design involves like movement. So, dapat may movement line, may mga continuity, diba? So, those are things that I've carried over to throughout the years then. So, ayun. Kasi like graphics is pretty much diba, 2D siya and it's very flat. And when you consider motion into the design, mas nag-iiba yung itsura niya. There's a lot of depth to it. There's a lot of movement. So, yun yung parang yun yung mindset ko recently.
I see. Well, okay. Let's, yun. So, maliban nga na, alam ko na, nag-take ka nga ng animation elective. There's this one thing that really got me, na parang, uy, ang galing nitong taong to. And, ramdam ko talaga yung passion mo nung ginawa mo to along with your group mates. And that was your documentary in college. Magkakaklase tayo dun sa narrative documentary class natin. Ito,
may naalala ako dun eh. May core memory ako dun.
Okay.
Kasi,
go.
Malamang si Tim yung makaka-back up dito. Kasi sa Lika group mates ko eh.
Mm-hmm.
Kung shoutout pala kay Tim kasi bagong kasal siya. So, ayun. One time kasi yung prof natin sa Tara. Di ko na name drop, pero magaling siya pumito. So, ayun. Talagang may mannerism siya when he speaks kasi. Tapos, si Ariel kasi, ginagaya niya. Tapos, tawa ko ng tawa. Ako yung tumatawa. Tapos, yun yung time na nagalit yung prof sa atin. Parang, sino tumatawa? Bakit yung tumatawa? Ganun yung sinasabi. Tapos, si Tim nilaglag ako. Parang si Red kasi boba, tawa ng tawa. Ganun daw. Kasi pag sinabi yung totoong dahilan kung bakit ako tumatawa, mas magagalit yun. So, yun yung mga naalala ko ng time na yun. Actually yun. So, other than the actual thing that we did sa narrative documentary.
Sorry, natawa lang. Na-imagine ko yung reaction.
Nakukuha mo. Ganda ba?
Ang mannerism na nakita namin sa kanya is eto, sabi ng tropa kong si Claudine, yung na-pick up niya sa kanya is lagi niyang sinasabi na, ay gusto ko yan.
Yung parang mga ganun, yung mga, di ba, nakukuha mo, ganun, di ba, may ganun. So, ayun yung pinaka-naalala ko talaga, kaya medyo natatawa pa rin ako.
Okay, so maliban dun sa mga funny moments nga during the narrative documentary class, take us through the process. Kung paano nag-start yung from brainstorming, from shooting and even post-production of that documentary. Sayang hindi ko na mai-present dito sa live, pero hingin ko sana.
Wala akong copy nun sa totoo lang.
Okay, buti na lang di ko na natanong. So yun, if okay lang na i-share mo, parang paano nag-start?
Sure.
Like, take us through that process.
Short answer, we chose esports and gaming kasi naghanap lang kami ng dahilan para maglaro. So, yun yung pinaka-short answer nun kung bakit namin ginawa yun. Long answer, I think that was 2013. Yun na yung time na na-expose talaga ako sa esports through Dota 2 actually. Kasi laro nun and at the same time, discover ko yung esports through Dota kasi there are a lot of betting sites na nun. And betting sites allows us to watch the matches. In short, mas napapanood ko yung games ng professional teams. So, na-realize ko, there's an actual industry to this. And, ayun, napa-research din ako. Sa totoo lang. And we saw one documentary actually covering the tournament. And it's something that we wanted to capture as well. Kasi alam ko, the scene was big. Pero there's not a lot of storytellers talaga sa industry ng time na yun. 2013 siya. Super young pa na industry. So, actually, yun yung mindset namin. And work process-wise, umattend kami ng events. Kasi may mga nalaman kami mga events na pupunta namin. And then I discovered some key people. Most notably, his name is Jobert Yu, so you probably know him or not. Pero doon ko siya nakilala actually nung bata pa ako. And then right now we're working on certain projects. So full circle lang din siya. Parang nakilala ko siya nung student pa ako. Nang nasa Mapua ako na hindi niya ako kilala talaga at all. Because I asked for an interview. Pero hindi naman natuloy yun. Pero ayun, And then the other instance naman was, I had to go to QC, to the office of Ministry, to interview one of the key people ng time na yun, si Marlon Marcelo. Yung kapatid ni Sir Mio, if you know him. So, ayun. And then, yeah, doon talaga nagsimula yung connections ko with esports. And then I decided to attend a lot of events and read a lot of stuff. Tapos, ayun, the process-wise, I think, since a lot of our things were driven by passion, it was so easy to make the content for the documentary. Kasi super passionate na namin sa topic na to. So, ang dali lang ikwento kung bakit namin gusto ikwento itong esports. So, yun.
Yeah. Since nag-touch up na tayo sa esports, yun na-mention mo before na not a lot of people have shared the stories nga of esports. Hindi pa siya ganun ka-prominent compared to how it is now.
Yes.
So, knowing na, yun isa ka sa mga tao na mga unang can I say, is it mga unang nakapasok? Or not necessarily?
Hindi, kasi yung esports dito talaga, I'd say ng mga late 2000s to early 2010s. Ganun yung timeline niya. So, ayun, hindi ko masasabi na I've been here from the start. Kasi hindi naman talaga.
I see. Okay. If that's the case, nung unang pasok mo in this industry, ano yung mga struggles na kinailangan mong daanan before finally taking the leap in entering it? Na parang, okay, ito na talaga yung I really want to commit to this. Yung mga alinlangan siguro na you had before. Ayan.
I think, number one, my skill set wasn't the best for at the time kasi, again, animation major ako. And a lot of my work from my portfolio was a lot of 3D, a lot of animating. Wala siyang heavy graphics, wala siyang video. So, malamang dun pa lang di na ako papasok kasi hindi talaga okay yung portfolio ko nun as a designer. Pero I was very passionate then at the time. So, 2013 yun. And again, diba, during the documentary days, I've attended some events. I've met some people na rin through events. And ayun, one funny thing, I met one guy, nag-aral siya sa Mapua at the time. His name is Hoff. Tapos, his cousins with an actual pro player, si Jeyo. His name is Jeyo. So, ayun. And then, dun talaga nagsimula yung parang me, like, getting to know different people din talaga for esports. So, yun.
I see.
Tsaka, makapal mukha ako nun. Kilala mo naman ako nun siguro. Makapal mukha ako. And I've been messaging different pages at the time, 2013, na parang gusto kong mag-pursue esports, ganun. So, I talked to one guy. His name is Cyclops. Yung in-game name na yun, pero he's from Thailand kasi. So, ayun. And I asked if ano yung pwede ko maitulong sa project na to. So, ayun. That was actually my first esports job. I was a writer lang. So, truth be told, sinabay ko lang siya kasi may thesis din ako nun. So, gusto ko lang na may writing thing din ako na ginagawa para hindi ako ma-burn out sa kakasulat ng RRL natin.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine this. I can't imagine the struggle. Grabe, napagsabay mo yun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, nagre-render lang naman ako ng video, ng 3D nun. So, marami akong oras.
But still, it's still a big leap. So,
yeah.
I see. So, I'm really okay dahil di po ako masyado nag-research la. Tatanungin ko lang before, okay, again, catch up kasi to. So, before ka mag-start with Overdrive Studios, before you started committing full-time, ano yung mga past jobs mo or na hindi related sa esports?
So, di ba graduate ako 2015 and I was one of the first. Akala ko rockstar na ako nun kasi immortal to eh. So, di ba, parang kaya ko nito or nito. Turns out, hindi. Kasi, una, hindi talaga maayos yung portfolio ko. Like, one of the things na I've learned during college was, hindi ko na kailangan i-perfect yung ginagawa ko kasi wala naman oras to perfect everything. So, I just tried to do my best to complete the task lang. I think yun yung ginawa ko ng college. Tapos, yun lang, I just tried to build good work habits kasi magre-reflect naman yun sa workforce eh. Kasi you have time to perfect something while you're in the actual workforce, diba? Rather than in college. So, yun yung mindset ko nun. Tsaka gusto ko na maglaro ng college talaga. Sagot. Pero yun, after graduation naman, 2015, one of my first few jobs was actually an extended internship. Paid internship siya, kuno. Pero it's also like a first job kasi I was required to go to the office every day. It was in Alabang. It's for a gaming company, game dev. So, una pa lang, di ba, yung mindset ko na sa gaming na agad. Pero, syempre, di talaga ako happy nun kasi una, imagine you were working for that job, tapos yung sweldo mo, wala pang 5 digits din eh. So, mga 8K lang, like monthly. Tapos, syempre, uuwi pa ako ng Cavite nun. So, that was horrible, I have to be honest. Pero, it helped me get a lot of skills na related to graphic design kasi heavy graphics yung pinapagawa sa akin eh. Like designing for UI, for like yung mga designing posters, making some logos for like this gaming company, diba? So, yun yung natutunan ko. Pero I would say that the job after that was actually very good. That actually helped me be better than. So, it was a digital marketing job at a company called I+. So, ano siya, sa Makati siya. But basically, what we did kasi is I was part of the marketing team, pero we also have a company that services clients kasi. So, ayun, yun doon ko na-meet yung mentor ko talaga. So, ayun, and he taught me a lot of things then, pero mostly trying to take ownership of projects. Meaning, kailangan ko talaga ayusin yung project from start to finish. Kasi I have a lot of time now on that, diba? So, ayun, I picked up a lot of skills, including talking to people, talking to adults. Kasi, although, I guess medyo okay naman yung pakikipagtungo ko sa tao. May ano din ako eh. Minsan wala akong filter, so medyo kupal din yung dating. So, that's something I've been trying to change naman. And I've learned to talk to like people older than me, lalo na ng time na yun, nasa ano pa ako eh. Graduate ako 18. So, mga 19 pa lang, nandun na ako sa part na yun. So, I was talking to like adults na. So, yun, very weird experience, very humbling kasi akala ko magaling na ako, pero marunong na talaga ako sa mga ginagawa ko. Yun yung natutunan ko.
Mm-mm. And now, all those things that you have learned, na-apply mo na siya ngayon. It made you a better person.
Medyo.
A better professional. Ayan.
Yeah. I mean, working with startups actually helped me talaga.
Mm-hmm. Okay, bago tayo mag-break, briefly lang, what's the story behind the name Overdrive Studios? Bakit siya naging Overdrive Studios?
So, sige, ikakwento na, ano na din to. This is also connected to how I entered esports talaga. Or like, what's the turning point, no? So, this is 2016. Remember in 2016, there were two major esports events kasi na nangyari sa bansa. Number one was ESL 1 Manila, and then the second one was the Manila Major. So, ESL 1 Manila, yeah, ganun na. Enjoy lang ako. Natutuwa kasi may Dota sa Pilipinas na international event, and that was the first one in MOA Arena pa. And then the second one was Manila Major, where I actually filed the 4-day leave from work just to attend the freaking event. Tapos, ayun, I think, namulat din talaga ako that there's a lot of like possibilities then in the industry. And while that was happening, nagpe-pay off ng iba connections ko kasi nakikilala na nila ako. I was doing a lot of like other work for other teams. Tapos, some of the people wanted to meet me then in person kasi parang nagugustuhan nila yung work ko. So, ayun. And then, one fateful day lang din, I met one of my closest friends in esports right now. His name is Paul Bago, so shoutouts to you, dude. And yun, nagkwento lang kami and I was talking about my dream then. Ano ba talagang gusto ko mangyari in esports? And I told him I wanted to do something creative. I wanted to do a creative studio then, or like service, I wanted my designs to have something of value in esports. Parang ganun yung story ng Overdrive. And as to how the name was made, so diba Sunday was the last day of the finals. The next day, Monday, may pasok na. So, bumalik ako sa work. Tapos mas pag talaga ako nun kasi wala akong bosses, like pagod ako. And syempre, medyo bad trip ako kasi iba yung tingin ng tao sa akin. Kasi ito yung nag-file ng leave para manood ng Dota. Diba ganun yung corporate shit. So, ayun. So that was the story. And then, as how Overdrive was made the name itself. diba, you've seen the original logo of Overdrive. The letters were actually RDR na may color red. So that was from my initials. And then yung una kong ginawa yung initials lang yung RDR, and then siningit ko lang over yung I sa dulo, sa magkabilang dulo. So actually tumama naman.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the story. And then the logo itself kasi another thing kasi we were in my day job, I was working for a client called CDO. So I was trying to make a logo ng CDO, but as it turns out, pangit siya for the brand pero maganda siya para sa akin. So kinuha ko na lang siya.
Sa bagay, wala naman ibang makakakita nun. Why not use it?
Ano lang naman yun study ko lang naman yun Parang gumagawa lang ng studies lang din with the how do I make something CDO na super simple. Tapos, it turns out, mas maganda pa pala for the actual Overdrive na logo. And then, everything just clicked.
Let's pause for a short break. Makakasama pa rin natin si RD Rogacion ng Overdrive Studio sa Pride Month edition ng KaTalk. Sinadya ko po yun, charot. Things happen. Pasensya na, may napindot na naman ako. Nadoble ako ng pindot. But,
may switcher ka ba dyan?
Ha? Yes.
Naka-switcher? Wow, taray naman.
Ay, wait,
or like
you mean
you
the
click on the yung manual switcher? Or wala?
Just
okay.
The one sa monitor. Sa monitor lang. But, anyway. Take 2. Welcome back, mga KaTalk. Kasama ko pa rin ang founder ng Overdrive Studios na si RD Rogacion, and we're going to talk about just that. Although kanina napag-usapan naman natin, nasimulan na natin siya. So, with that, you started building your connections along the way. And I'm just curious, paano ko sabihin? Paano mo nalaman na it's the right time to build Overdrive Studios? The time for you to establish it.
Honestly, it just happened in the whim. Kasi yung going back to my kwento kanina, I came back from the Manila Major feeling energized, feeling inspired. At the same time, I'm also feeling burnt out sa day job ko kasi number one, the company is great, pero you know how corporate entities work, right? Ang daming mga chismos sa gilid, ang daming nakakainis talaga na alam mo yung mga tipong wala naman silang ginagawang trabaho, pero tingin ng tingin sa akin, ganun. Yung mga ganun nakakainis sa bagay. And as doon talaga siya nag-build. Well, and then while that was happening, I was literally doing my freelance na on the harap-harapan na ako nag-freelance dun sa office nila. Kasi syempre, gusto ko na rin gawin yung Overdrive na to. And ayun, from there, I guess I just built a client base na feeling ko okay pa. And then the jump actually happened. This was 2016 pa rin. So, there was the World Championships for Dota 2. It's called the International, if you know naman that. It boasts the largest prize pool in all of esports, right? So, people can earn life-changing money just by winning or just by placing like in a playoffs position, diba? So, ayun. One of the things that happened, and medyo, una kapal na mukha and timing din, was a Filipino team actually qualified at the event. It's called Execration, and shout out sa team na Execration, super love ko sila. Tapos, ayun, nag-message na talaga ako sa page nila, hey, pwede ba gumawa na jerseys nyo? Ganun, literally ganun lang sinabi ko. And they said sure. Yun yung parang, that was how the conversation happened. And then nagpakita ako ng drafts, and then, ayun, one thing led to another. I was messaged by one of their managers, si Trek Gutierrez. So, ayun, was na-discover niya ako basically through my work in Exhibition. Kasi I was doing this work for pro bono lang kasi gusto ko na may jersey ako na nasa international stage kasi iba rin yung feeling pag yung work mo nandun, diba? So, ayun. From that pro bono work, dun ko nakilala sila like tapos, and it led me to actually having a full-time job in Esports. So, that's pretty much the turning point. Pero, I do want to say, kasi na-miss ko to, one of my first projects and one of my actual life mentors right now was for Eri Neiman. So, if you know Aaron Neiman, trending siya ngayon kasi kalbo siya. And he's my good friend. So, ayun. Kasi he was actually my first client and he taught me a lot of like things in life and in business. And basically how to present yourself better, right? Tsaka ano din, ano yung mga stuff na I have to look out for, if this project's actually okay for me to take, kung okay ba itong mindset to. And he also calls me out on my bullshit from time to time. So, ayun. Share ko lang. And then yun, going back, that actually led me to more work in esports with execution. And then, now, na-hire ako ni Tech ng time na yun to jump ship from my corporate job to working esports full-time. Kasi wala rin sila ni graphic designer talaga na dedicated. So, saktong timing lang din. And yeah, that was my first actual esports job na hinire na ako.
Grabe, sabi sa inyo, pang malakasan talaga tong guest natin.
Pero sabay-sabay kasi nangyari lahat.
Mm-hmm.
May kasama rin akong din eh. Diba, may day job ako, sinasabay ko lang lahat eh. And then, while my actual esports job is there, so it's for Inquirer.net's esports vertical. So they have an esports section kasi. So that's one of my first projects. So, ayun. Sinasabay ko rin yung Overdrive on the side. So, ginagawa ko siyang freelance pa rin. While I have an actual esports job. So, yun yung mga nangyari. So, marami akong pinagsasabay na bagay.
Ang dami mong pinagsabay ng mga projects, freelance, and day job along the side. And of course, you have Overdrive. With all those things going on, I'm sure yun you've worked with a lot of projects. Alin doon yung isang project na, let's say, pwede mong banggitin na sobrang unforgettable sa'yo dahil napaka-challenging niya. And syempre, sobrang rewarding din nung natapos at na-release na siya.
Oh my God. 2016 is a long time to remember stuff. Kasi 5 years ago na siya. So actually, we're turning 5 this month. So, ayun. I think a lot of my work with Eri Neiman talaga in particular has been very memorable. Kasi not only did, syempre, the payment is good, pero ang dami ko napulot talaga sa kanya na things that I picked up along the way na rin. Like how to become a better person overall. So those are things na I value more than the actual money that I get from the work. Kasi I also gained a lifelong friend na rin in him. And then, some of my favorite work in 2016, siguro, let's just jump 2016 to 2017. A lot of my work in Inquirer Esports has also set a standard for how esports media in the Philippines was created kasi there was a time in December na kami ni Pao was trying to, me, Pao, and one other person, her name is Gina. So we're trying to build this vertical into a content machine. So a lot of the stuff that we do is updates for all of the titles that we follow. For example, esports naman kasi hindi lang siya Dota eh. You also follow things like Counter-Strike, Overwatch, mga things na nilalaro natin ng time na yun. So ayun, ang dami namin ginawa na content ng time na yun. And I guess that's very memorable for me kasi we've managed to eclipse our competitor at the time as content. So that's a very good moment for us. At the same time, siguro when it comes to Overdrive's work naman, I guess I would say my first international client was someone from Malaysia. His name is Danny Su. So, he's also a good friend of mine now. It was basically my first international client. And ang dami ko rin projects sa kanyang time din. So, super fun. And it led me to more work in Malaysia, which eventually led to me actually quitting my day job to focus on Overdrive. So, yeah.
So, part of Overdrive is you had to create your team, you have to manage it. Ano yung mga natutunan mo when it comes to working with a team and starting it from scratch? And how do you make sure na, let's say once you start a meeting, once you start working on a project, how do you make sure that your vision is aligned to everyone?
Oh God, I guess when you build something from scratch, you have a sense of attachment talaga that is yours. So I guess me trying to delegate stuff, ako kasi may trust issues din ako eh. So that was a very hard challenge for me to entrust people with the same quality that I usually give to clients, na kung kaya rin ba ng mga tao na hinahire ko. I think yun yung pinaka number one. And these are, kasi it's also led to me burning out a few years ago. Kasi ang hirap mag-let go ng projects. Lalo na, alam ko, people usually hire Overdrive just because of me. So yun yung parang nangyayari. And I guess I have to say, I think yun nga yung yun nga yung pinaka-challenge ko as I was building the team. Tapos, siguro, I wasn't ako rin person, hindi ako super galing sa business. And that's why I have people to do that for me naman ngayon. Pero, it led me to making bad decisions then with bad partners. Me paying off those partners just so they can fuck off, di ba? So, ang mahal din ng ginastos namin para doon. Tapos, ayun, I think those are some challenges and mistakes na nagawa ko ng time na yun.
Okay, so, what are your thoughts on society regarding the misconceptions of esports? Ngayon, mas prominent na kasi, mas alam, not really alam, pero mas naririnig na ng masa ng society ang esports na, may pera dyan. Pero before, wala talaga na parang, kaka-computer lang yan, parang walang future, walang pera. Parang course lang natin, alam mo yan. So, parang, parang kung hindi man wala, maliit lang yung makukuha dyan. So, ano yung thoughts mo? And, like, is it changing? Iba na ba yung parang naging misconceptions ngayon? Or, at least naririnig nyo?
Yeah, sige. General misconception for me about esports is at the money side. Kasi people see all of these inflated numbers, diba? Pero kasi a lot of that only goes to teams. But there's an entire industry in esports that people don't know about, right? Ang daming back-end stuff na kailangan gawin sa esports. A lot of HR work, a lot of legal work kasi, again, this is a new industry and there's a lot of legal shit na hindi pa naasikaso ng mga tao when it comes to, like, for example, player contracts. Yung mga, ang dami pa rin sa scam na managers dito. Ang dami pa rin sa scam na players, di ba? Sa akin naman, a lot of like back-end work when it comes to like creatives, production. Kasi ang daming events ngayon. Lalo na nagka-pandemic, like there's a lot of like online events now na kailangan na production, production work, right? So those are things na people don't realize. But there's an entire industry when it comes to esports. But ayun lang, kasi since yung esports kasi, yung mukha ng esports are the players themselves. Yun lang yung nakikita ng mga tao.
Well, you have mentioned the pandemic. And yun nga, kilala ang esports with events. And yep. You had several events na inattendan mo. Ano yung mga naging changes na kinailangan i-adapt ng esports industry from your perspective dahil sa pandemic? Yung observations na napansin mo na okay, kailangan tong gawin, kailangan i-adapt to. So, also with your experience with Overdrive, if it's okay.
Yeah, sure. I think sa amin kasi in esports, a lot of like money is generated by events. So the fact na nawalan ng live events for like almost 2 years na hurts a lot. Pero kasi the way esports and gaming works is everything can be done online as well. Kasi the early days of esports are actually online. So parang bumalik lang din kami sa prehistoric days din. Medyo makaluma lang din. So a lot of stuff is done online. Pero the way that this happened kasi is a lot of organizations rely on sponsorship money kasi to fund these events. So ngayon marami nagsara din na companies kasi hindi na nila magawa unless they shift to like a pure online model, which a lot of like companies adapted to naman pretty well. I guess challenges lang is number one, latency issues kasi people play online now, so hindi na siya even playing field kasi may mga ibang players din na napakaganda na internet and then yung mga iba mga PLDT na style na parang na super bagal, right? So may mga ganun kasi na cases when it comes to like online events right now. So ayun. As for Overdrive siguro, a lot of the challenges that we've had was actually mas dumami work namin ng pandemic kasi walang live events. So people do all of these small pocket events that spreads out throughout the year kasi wala namang breaks, wala namang talagang holiday di ba? Kasi dire-diretso lang yung taon last year. So actually yun, dire-diretso lang yung buong calendar namin na ang dami nangyayari.
In one word, ano yung masasabi mo na situation or condition ng esports industry in general?
Oh God. Um, in one word.
Like with
Wait lang,
all what
medyo mahirap to.
I'm
Kasi
so
pag napanood ko ng mga, mga stakeholders, yari
the
ko, diba?
it considering no the reason I asked that is because considering what happened lately, yun nga, dahil sa pandemic,
Hmm.
ang daming naging changes, not just in your industry. So I'm just really curious na parang yun nga, ano yung parang general situation na pwedeng i-encapsulate in one word.
Okay, cool. I guess esports is booming and it's gonna continue to grow. I think that's something that people have to realize na talagang it's here to stay. It's gonna grow. It's booming right now and ang dami pa opportunities to develop the space kasi again, this is a very young industry and they haven't even scratched the surface yet.
Mhm. With that being said, ano yung mga may papaya mo sa mga tao na gustong pumasok sa esports industry as a gamer
Oh,
and or as a designer?
I guess as a gamer, I guess you have to know when to actually go all in kasi a lot of people dedicate their lives to playing pero minsan talaga it's not for you sometimes and only the top 1% of like gamers really make a career out of actually playing the game for a living. So you've seen all the best players in the country right now. They're the top 1%, right? And hindi naman kasi lahat kaya na magganon eh. But you can contribute in the industry in other ways if you have the skill set for that. So for example, ako, pinangarap ko din naman maging pro before, pero hindi ako magaling eh. Magaling ako walang hiya, or magaling ako mag-graphics. I guess magaling ako mag-graphics. So doon ko na lang binuhos lahat ng attention ko. Kung marunong na mag-graphics, so doon ko binuhos lahat ng attention ko para maging magaling sa graphics. So I can turn this into a living. When it comes to being a creative in esports, if you want to enter, I guess don't be afraid to experiment kasi esports design is still young, it's still new. It's just a term na parang bago lang din yung esports design kasi there's a certain style that people follow still. Pero hindi nakakalimutan na tayo mag-experiment. Kasi parang feeling nila ito na yung status quo when it comes to esports design, but there's a lot of things that needs to be done pa. Kasi mga ibang designers ng nasa industry ng esports, ano lang eh, like those are like designers you see on social media na parang gumagawa ng maangas pero minsan walang structure, minsan walang composition, di ba? So yun yung mga bagay na they need to understand as well.
I forgot to ask this question, but some schools started offering esports courses and
Oh
there
my
was
God.
I'm not sure kung nakita mo to pero
I knew it.
feeling ko nakita mo to. Parang
Yeah.
there was this is it a, well there's this post na parang, well, I really cannot remember the exact words, so non-verbatim siya. So parang ang pinapatunguhan ng comment is that you should rather go attend the different traditional courses, I mean, kesa umattend sa esports courses. Ano yung thoughts mo doon?
Oh my God. I guess this is a controversial topic talaga, the esports course kasi I know the people who who made this, and I also know the people who are also against this. So I guess I can speak from a service provider standpoint, from an industry standpoint na parang ako, when I have to hire someone for Overdrive, usually naman, kailangan maayos yung portfolio. That's pretty much it, right? I don't really care if you're from like a course that's specialized or not, as long as maganda yung portfolio mo and your work ethic. That's pretty much it, right? But I guess down the line, this is gonna be very important. But I guess since tsaka nandito na rin siya, so I just hope that the people who are behind this course really do their best talaga to give it justice. Kasi to be honest, ano din siya, medyo mabilis din yung pangyayari. As in, super bilis ang timeline ng mga events. So I really can't say na okay ba siya or hindi.
I see. Okay. Before we go on a break, there's this post that I want to share to everyone, and this is really something na, you've done a lot of projects. You've done a lot of rebranding projects to other clients. But there's this post that really got me, and babasahin ko na lang siya for everyone. So, yeah. So, this might be
Oh
my
my
most
God.
important rebrand ever. So, I've been trying to get around this for a while to the point where I'm having bad anxiety attacks. My God, magbabasa na nga lang. Sometimes I just have to say it and see what happens. So, doon lang tayo sa lesson. In the last 2 paragraphs. So, but today this changes. I just want you to know that it's okay to unapologetically be you and live the life you're meant to be. And today I'm going to do that. Nothing really changes except you get to see the real authentic me, happier and definitely more beautiful. I can't wait to go on this journey. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin yan. Pero for now, pause muna tayo sa ating kwentuhan. RD Rogacion will still be with us dito sa Pride Month edition ng KaTalk. Hindi ko na po ulitin yung OBB.
Gusto ko yung may echo.
hindi ko na siya i-play 2 times pero okay, magbabalik po kami. Welcome back sa huling stretch ng ating kwentuhan dito sa KaTalk. Live po tayong napapanood sa ating Facebook page na Stream Siomai at kasama pa rin natin si RD Rogacion. So before tayo nag-break, may pinakita tayong post from your Instagram. So, di ko na ipapakita. Hanapin nyo lang mamaya kapag natapos na yung live. Charing. So, with that, paano ba? Kasi, I got to reconnect with you April lang. Kasi, there was a time na I unfollowed everyone on Instagram. So, I lost touch with a lot of people.
Yeah, same.
Although, yun naman, sa Facebook, nakikita ko naman na din. So, I'm like, oh, si Red, si RD. Okay, so, I'm really curious.
Nangyayari.
And it's, nung nakita ko naman, oh my gosh, I really admire her. I really admire what she did. Kasi, iilan lang ang nakakagawa. Iilan lang talaga ang, especially with our country, sa society natin. Alam mo yung we know that things that being faced by our community. Yes, our community. With that, I'd like to ask if it's okay to share your story. Kung ano yung mga comfortable deets na pwede mong i-share regarding your most important rebranding journey. So, kanina, rebranding projects with clients. This time, it's your most rebranding journey. So, please feel free to share.
Oh God. I think how do I start? It's something very personal. So I guess this is my first time sharing it in the public space. So I guess this has been a long time coming for me. As someone who has been struggling talaga with my identity. And ayun, nothing else to say naman other than nung lockdown, I've had realizations then as to how do I wanna live my life after this pandemic. Kung mabubuhay pa man ako, diba? So, ayun. I guess I've come to terms na parang I should probably do things that I like. Diba? So, other than work and other than playing all the shit that I like, I wanted to live my life na rin na wala na akong regrets. And this has been something that I'm gonna regret if di ko ginawa. Diba? Kahit itry man lang. No? So, ayun. I mean, I just decided to fuck it, Ginawa ko na lang. Since, una, di ko na makikita for like an extended period of time. So, wala naman pake kung ano yung tingin ng tao. And then, secondly, I guess, it's also for my own sanity kasi if di ko siya ginawa, I guess, a lot of other things would have happened to my life. Or, kung meron pa man, di ba? So, ayun. I don't know, super vague na sagot, no? Pero, that's something na, And then yun, so pretty much the flag says it all naman na
Love it.
Trans, but yeah. And I've been trying to go on this journey then na exploring a lot of things that alam kong bagay sa akin, ganun. A lot of the things that I feel na okay for me. And includes like wardrobe, makeup, whatever, hairstyles, diba? So those are things na I've been trying to experiment. Parang parang bumalik ako sa pagkabata nga. Galing eh. So, ayun. Pero also, a lot of things happen to me personally, other than this. So, that includes like, syempre, breakups with my current girlfriend ng time na yun. So, wala na kami. Pero, just to set the record straight, I still date girls. No? So, yun lang. So, walang sabihin yung type of part na yun. Tapos yun, I guess, there's a lot of, ano may gusto mong tanong? Para ibabalik ko muna sa'yo.
Well, it's not really a tanong. It's more of share what you can share. So, yeah. Yeah. It's okay. So, with that, so ibabalik mo sa akin yung tanong?
Oo, ibabalik ko nga sa'yo yung tanong.
Sige. Sige. Although, okay, sige. In that case, sa akin kasi, paano ba nag-start? Oh my God, exclusive. Shireng! Hindi.
Wow.
Hindi naman. Well, alam ko kasi, ever since high school, alam kong hindi ako kagaya nila.
Okay.
Hindi ako straight. And then, college, it wasn't really much of a thing for me to think about, to ponder upon, dahil busy nga tayo sa studies.
Dami nangyayari ng college.
A lot.
And kahit ako din, I have to say.
Like, I had to set aside, pero I had to focus on my studies kasi parang mindset ko kasi nun is, once I graduate, I can...
Studies mo na bago boyfriend.
Yeah, like parang, or even gala, inom ganyan, na parang, pag naka-graduate na ako at kapag nakakapag-ipon na ako, if I'm already working, saving my own money, I can do whatever I like, at least, pero, eto, nangyari na. Anyway, so yun, nung naka-graduate na ako, that's when I started exploring. Na parang, I had to acknowledge what is something na nasa sarili ko, what's within me. And doon din nag-start na nakita ko ng different groups, nakita sa Facebook, nakita ko ng mga groups na, and then nakita rin ako sa Twitter, and I also met different people from, let's say, real life Twitter. So, today picture, ganyan. So, I got to see different people. I got to hear different insights na parang, oh, okay, hindi lang pala, parang kung ano lang yung nakikita ko sa LGBTQ plus community. Hindi lang pala yun. There's a lot. And then, yun din with that, nakita ko rin na parang may mga things na it's okay to acknowledge, not acknowledge, na parang okay lang na, oh my God, ano ko ba sabihin to? Like,
it's okay if hindi mo,
no, it's more of lang. May use sa mga groups na nakita ko na parang ayoko na magstay sa group na to, untoxic. Gay Twitter. I'm so sorry.
Ika-cancel ka na. Sabi ko sa'yo. Cancel talk na.
I don't care kasi wala naman na akong Twitter. I already deactivated. Pero yun, so more of yun nga sa identity. Parang nasa stage pa rin ako of exploring, pero I already have a start na parang so ayun, just to be so kagaya ng ginawa mo, just to set the record straight. I like guys, but I don't close.
Alam ko, sabihin mo, you're not. Just set the record straight, you're not.
Ayun,
Okay.
parang hindi ko kino-close yung idea of dating girls. Pero sa ngayon, hindi lang talaga priority. Pandemic eh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to date in the pandemic, I have to say.
Dahil dyan, ipa-private ko na po yung live video na to pagkatapos. Tsereng! Tsereng lang. So, yun yan. Ayun, so, I hope you got the answer.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to say I'm proud of you, dude.
Salamat, sobrang salamat. Parang, thankful din kasi ako na, yun nga, mga unang napagsabihan ko din is mga kaibigan ko rin. Kilala mo sila James, sila Dean. So, syempre, kapag alam mo na closest friends talaga na pagkakatiwalaan mo, very supportive sila sa'yo, and they'll be there no matter what. So, they'll understand regardless of who you are, ganyan. So sa mga nanonood, please appreciate your friends, your parents. Not everyone has this kind of privilege then, this kind of opportunity. So, if you have that chance, yun, acknowledge it, appreciate it. For those na hindi, there are people na pwede nyong makausap. There are also organizations who are there na pwede nyo lapitan. So, Facebook, so social media, ang dami ng groups na nandyan, ang dami nyo nang pwedeng makausap, ang dami nyo nang pwedeng ma-explore na organizations there. So, isa doon ay sure, alam na lahat, Metro Manila Pride. So, anyway, let's, yan nga, so it's Pride Month, it's a celebration, but it's more of a protest. What is the current take of the esports industry in terms of diversity and inclusivity towards the LGBTQ plus community?
Oh gosh, I have mixed feelings about my local industry right now. I know the international esports industry is more open to this, pero kasi locally, I'd say we're just fucking behind, dude. Pero I want to give a shout out to all the teams, especially sa MPL. If you've heard the news, kasi there's this one player sa MPL. He's part of the LGBT community, so shout out kay Venus. He's a friend, si Mamchi. Tapos ayun, a lot of like people harassed him or her kasi. Hindi ko alam pronounce it. Harassed them during one of the matches kasi. So, ayun, a lot of people online kasi, di ba, pag natatalo ka, usually yung common na sinasabi sa'yo, batik ko, ganun, diba? So, tangin na ng mga tao, number one. But, I want to give a shout out to the teams for having her back kasi ang dami talaga nagsusupport sa kanya. And, I just want to say na, although we're still behind in terms of like, how do we give these people sa community natin more visibility, I just want to say na, at least we're getting there. There's a lot of steps that being taken naman. Tsaka hindi na rin naman talaga tanging tao ngayon na at least they know how to be kind nowadays kasi kailangan natin yun. So, ayun. But yeah, I just want to say na we're still really behind locally kasi I know a few people who are very sexist, who are very homophobic pa rin. And some of these people are actually like people with voices. So, medyo nakakainis yung part na yun. So, ayun. Pero, a lot of like the new generation people that we have right now, a lot of mga kabatch ko, mga kaedad ko, taray, no? So, di ako reveal age. Pero, ayun. They've been better naman. So, I just want to give a shout out to them as well. So, yeah.
I guess what I like with this generation, with our generation rather, is that we've become more open when it comes to these topics. It comes to SOGI, to LGBTQ plus community. Although, syempre, ang dami pa rin challenges yan na-encounter, diba? So, regardless of industry, meron at meron.
Regardless of industry. Yeah.
Meron at meron.
Pero kasi gaming, na-normalize na yung ganitong kind of trash talk. So, nakakainis siya. Like, pwede mo sabihin, bobo mo maglaro. Ganun, diba? Pero the fact na inatake mo siya by calling someone gay or homo, diba? Lalo na kung hindi naman sila ganon. Tapos, sobrang walang bearing yung comment na yun, diba? Mas nakakainis. And it breeds that kind of toxicity. Recently nga, may nakita nga lang din ako post eh. He's a Valorant player naman. Pero, ginawa niya, parang, kasi sa Valorant ngayon, there's this Pride Month celebration where you have like clear cards, diba? Etong player na to, ginamit niya yung one of the rainbow cards, yung LGBT flag to use as an Adonis meme, diba? Parang gago. So, those are things na, we still need work on. Kasi, these are people with voices, so, they have an influence talaga sa community nila, sa mga tao na hinawak nila. So, ayun.
With that, yun nga, we can say na tolerance is different from acceptance. Like, sobrang iba na parang nakita mo na, sa iba nakita nila na parang, nandyan lang. Pero, when we start talking of the important things like filing of the resolution sa law, but alam mo yun, yung mga rights, ganyan. Wala talaga. So parang biglang susugod na yung mga yung mga term? Mga conservative. Ayun, mga conservative.
Yeah.
We know that, especially in our country. So with that, what's your message to everyone in society who's still struggling to understand kung ano yung pinaglalaban natin as part of the LGBTQ plus community?
Yeah, I guess everyone deserves to live a life that they're happy and they're proud of. And it doesn't really take much to be a decent human being naman. So, alam mo yun? Huwag yan. Next! Balik mo dito sa camera ko. Balik mo dito. Again. Yoko. Balik mo yan. Shy pa tayo.
Sige.
So yun, I guess doesn't really take much naman to be decent. Kasi ang dali-dali na lang ng kailangan gawin ng tao. Diba? Just have to be welcoming, be accepting, be happy for someone. Especially when they've taken these steps naman to be brave, to be who they are. Diba? So, ayun. And honestly, it really starts then with the environment you're in. As long as you can cultivate that into something na para you don't tolerate that kind of bullshit. Diba? So, that helps. So, whether it's like in a family setting, your circle of friends, your workplace, diba? So, ayun.
Mm-hmm. What is your message naman for those who are struggling with their Soji?
Oh gosh. Kasi ako personally, I'm still in that phase. Pero alam ko yung Soji ko. Kasi, syempre, iba yung identity ko. But my orientation stays the same. Na parang I still want girls, right? Iba rin expression ko ngayon. So, I guess, it's really up to you, honestly. Like, wala namang set rule dito kung ano kayo gusto gawin sa buhay mo, di ba? Kasi it's your life. And honestly, we're just here to support it. And don't really fall into labels kasi a lot of this will be evolving over time. I guess yun yung pinamasabi ko. Ako kasi I've been evolving like over time. Like siguro naman no one really expect me to be this, di ba? Kasi syempre sobrang iba naman ako before compared to now na mas open ako sa sarili ko. So ayun. But this one really evolves then. So be patient. Huwag mo madali yung gusto mong i-accept. Yun lang.
I agree to that. So, don't pressure yourself.
Yeah.
So, final word, anything you want to say to everyone, to our viewers, where they can find you, or ganyan. So, the floor is yours.
I guess, for Overdrive, we're at our 5th year anniversary na. So, from a freelance to an actual company. So, super happy na we made it this far. Tayo na hindi naman din pala biro magtumay ng company. So nakakatuwa na may nangyayari sa amin. And I guess when you wanna get someone, you don't really have to look for tingnan mo yung skill nila, tingnan mo yung attitude nila. Pero who they are as a person, wag mo nang sa kanila yun. Kasi sila yun eh. That's who they are, di ba? Tapos, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. If you wanna find me, more of my work, it's pretty much there sa website namin. It's called ovd.gg. We just shortened the URL. And then a lot of our socials are ovd.gg. So that's pretty much our shit. If you wanna see more of me, you can find me on Instagram at rdesign. So that's RDEEZYN. I still use RD for work and for professional making. So, ayun.
So, RD Rogacion, thank you so much for being our KaTalk for tonight. May your story and journey... Oh my God, nagpapasa na naman ako sa screen. No, but seriously, may your story and journey inspire not just the ones who are aspiring to be a part of the esports industry, as well as everyone who is striving to be the best version of themselves every single day. With that, I wish you a happy Pride, RD. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of our Pride Month edition sa KaTalk. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Yun yung na-mention mo kanina, first time mo to i-share. So, sobrang salamat na pinagkatiwalaan mo kami, or ako, na i-share yun dito. Alam mo yan, dahil all-in-one tayo
dito.
dinarag
mo ako sa chat. Joke lang.
Sorry po. Ganyan po.
Tsaka late ako eh. So, I guess I owe you the story then.
No,
so, yun.
Again, no pressure, and again, thank you so much for joining tonight. Maraming salamat, RD. Sobrang
Have
salamat.
a great night, everyone.
Maraming salamat. And ayun na nga, sa ating mga viewers na nakasubaybay pa sa atin hanggang ngayon, maraming salamat. Sana ay may napulot kayo sa ating kwentuhan ngayong gabi. For those who have missed tonight's conversation, pwede nyo i-replay ang episode na ito. You can also watch the previous episodes of KaTalk, as well as stream Siomai live sa ating Facebook page. Yun nga, yung unboxing video ko. Charing! Again, for those who haven't liked our page, please feel free to like it para makatanggap kayo ng updates at notifications once na mag-live tayong muli. For now, magpapaalam muna tayo. My name is Aaron of Streamed Siomai. I wish everyone the best this Pride Month, and may we continue to support fighting for the rights and acceptance of our fellow LGBTQ+ community. Again, regardless of your SOGI, your sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression sa mga hindi nakailam, regardless of your SOGI, you matter. Hindi ka sayang, tanggap kita, tanggap ka namin. Hanggang sa muli, ito ang Pride Month edition ng KaTalk. Thank you so much for watching, guys!